Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Rats on Film, the show where a bunch of film rats talk about and rank movies. Today on the show, we are getting on the grid. We are talking about Tron. With me today, I have Jordan.
Hello.
Dylan.
Hi.
Johnny.
Am I still to create the perfect system?
Oh.
And I'm your host, Xander. Welcome to the show, everybody. No Tron quotes for you guys?
You're supposed to say, yeah. I did do a Tron quote.
No, not you. The two of them.
You're supposed to say, you're supposed to go, yeah? and then I beat the shit out of you.
I can't think of a single quote.
That's crazy.
It's Tron in time.
It's Tron in time.
That's my best guess.
All right, Tron Ares has just come out. Tron is, I think, objectively an iconic franchise. Maybe not always for the right reasons, but I do think I've always been aware of it in my life, and it always comes back. It's gone for a while, and then it pops back up. So we thought we'd do a little ranked episode for the 3 Tron films to celebrate the release of the new one.
Tron is hype. Shout out to my Tron heads out there.
Is that what they're called?
I don't know. Shout out to my programs.
I was like, do they have like a fan base?
Shout out to the users.
Yeah, users.
Yeah.
Jordan, when we were watching it, Jordan just kept saying, "This feels like Clankers to me."
I mean, it kind of is.
I'm not a program. I'm a user. Like, then like you would look at him and be like, "Okay, user." Like,
not the hard R
it's
on
a slur.
user.
Yeah, exactly.
It did feel a little derogatory at times.
Yeah.
What's your guys' exposure to Tron?
I did not watch Tron at all until I believe it was the pandemic, and Disney Plus was doing a bunch of TV episodes of documentaries based on the movies that they've made. And there was an episode about Tron, and I saw them like putting tape on the costumes and making the discs. And I watched that and I was like, this seems pretty interesting. Like, I've always heard of Tron, but I've never really watched it. And I did not see Legacy in theaters when it came out during my lifetime.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then during COVID, I watched the first 2 just at home on Disney Plus.
I feel like for me, well, my dad always talked about it because that was like, for the people our parents' age, that was like the first movie that, you know, there was like, that's like sci-fi-y, like, or like, it's like up there with Star Wars as like, that was when movies kind of started entering the weird like computer technology age of things. So I think that's like something my dad always spoke about. And then I feel like for me, it was like Tron Legacy, because I was the perfect age for them to like sell toys and the movie and video games too.
Yeah, I never saw the original. I watched Legacy when it came out. I saw it in theaters, and I feel like I've always been aware of Tron just because of the design element of it. It's got a really iconic look that just kind of has permeated a lot of the way that we have visualized computers and digital spaces even to this day. So I just feel like I've always been aware of it. I used to play a little light cycle game on my iPod Touch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like I agree. I think it's like the most iconic thing. Like, even like if your grandma doesn't even know what Tron is, like if she saw a picture of the light cycle or like even the black and the blue kind of grid, she'd be like, oh, like my son used to watch that. Like, it's like the visual element and how different that world looks.
Did you watch the original, Johnny, before Legacy, or did you see Legacy first?
I saw Legacy first. Like Dylan said, it came out at a good time for us, and I was like super hype on Legacy. We saw it in theaters and it was sick. And then I just appreciate Tron all around because of like what the first one did for CG. It was way ahead of its time and really innovative, and it's an iconic movie if you care at all about like CG.
Yeah, I think it's not really photorealistic at all. Like, it doesn't really look like our world, obviously, but because it's so highly designed and stylized, you just kind of buy that is what it's supposed to look like. Like, it's not supposed to look like anything that we know, so it's okay that it doesn't look real.
Yeah, it looks incredible. It looks so good. We can segue from this into the first one. Tron, 1982. First up on the list today.
Wasn't alive.
Same.
I mean, you guys talked about it a little bit, but the design is amazing in the movie. And I think that an interesting thing about it is it's easy to look at it and be like, it looks outdated because it's literally like some of the first CG that there is. But also, it's actually not outdated because it is them going into a computer, and that's what computer graphics looked like at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the same thing. So it kind of
love that about it. Obviously, it doesn't look as good as the newer ones, but it makes perfect sense for what the movie is because the movie's taking place in the 80s, right? it's taking place in present day for when it was released. A really interesting thing about it is, or something that I think is inspiring, is that since it's such early CG, they don't have a lot of tools, right? And everything is just made from primitive shapes. So like spheres, cubes, pyramids, cones, right? That was all that they had access to. And so that's like very limiting. But with a limited palette, they made such an iconic design that everybody still to this day really likes. And I think that just shows the power of design, right? Like if you can make something designed well and you can make it look really cool, even with very limited tools, you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, the designs are really great. And I was looking into some of the behind the scenes about how they pulled some of the stuff off and some of the techniques that they used. I just talk about this a lot, but I kind of miss the era of creative problem solving and filmmaking where
this is like the movie for that.
Yeah, like they have an idea in their head of like some kind of vision about what the grid looks like, what the inside of a computer looks like. And they just go, man, how the fuck do we achieve that with, like Johnny's saying, all these limited tools? And I was looking up about the way that they get the characters to glow. Like I'm watching that being like,
it's crazy.
Did they do this like they did Star Wars? Like, is it reflective tape? And no, they shot it on black and white film with black and white costumes. And then they would just expose the film with like gels over it because then all the white stuff would get that glow on it.
That blue glow.
And then they were rotoing out the faces, the eyes, and the mouths separately because if you did that, you'd muddy up the faces. So every single shot that's of them in the computer is someone is literally with a razor blade cutting out pieces of film, cutting out people's eyes, cutting out people's mouths, and cutting out people's faces. But the result stands up and it looks incredible. So
every single shot has like 5 layers of cutout film, you know?
Yeah. I worked in visual effects. I know how tedious roto can be, and I did it on a computer, not like by hand. But I mean, the work speaks for itself. Like it really looks great.
Yeah, I like the texture that it adds to what you're watching.
Because you could tell that it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, when I saw the 4K restoration, the thing that I really liked was the lines are so clean. Like it feels, I love how mapped out it is, like, and they move through 3D space, but it's in, back then it was like a 2D drawing, but I was like, oh, it feels like you're in some weird like dark club mansion that has no end or an entrance or exit, and it just sounds, it like looks amazing. I was like, that was such a cool, so whoever decided to make everything black and then just little bits of a neon light, I was like that's iconic to me.
Do you know what else is crazy about this too? I was, again, in my little behind the scenes research, it was brought up to my attention that this is not in the days when you can just render something and watch it on your computer. So in order to do these things, you're not like real time animating stuff. Apparently they did it all by math of just positions and rotations and stuff. And then they'd have to scan it onto film to then be able to watch it back. The amount of work that went into people visualizing these things to then figuring out the like precise steps to make them be executed and then processing them. I can't even imagine how much thought went into all of these shots. But again, the results are so good.
I had a teacher in college who worked on this, and he told us that about how they had to do everything with math. Like there was no viewport, if you know, I guess like animation lingo, which is basically you can see like an unrendered version of the geometry that you're animating, right? As you're doing it, like updating constantly. That's how it works nowadays. But back then, it was literally, like you said, just math. They would have to do the math to figure out how much time it took the light bike to get this many units on the x-axis, right? And then just put it all in, and then like you said, scan it all, and then be like, how's that look? And it probably looked like shit.
It's crazy.
Like they
it's
definitely
crazy.
had to do it like again and again and again. There's no way you would get that right the first time.
Well, and two, there are so many sequences in this movie that are basically exclusively animated sequences, right? Like there's no real elements that were actually being photographed. It's all done like this. And
all
yeah,
the
I'm sure there was
bikes,
a ton
all the
of
tanks.
Yep.
Another thing too is that you guys were talking about the cutting out the frames and layering them for lighting. That's the reason that they wear the silly helmets, because otherwise you would have to roto all the hair. You know what I mean?
Oh, true.
It would
Makes
be
sense.
Impossible.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and it would
Hair's the
be
worst thing to
so
roto in the
difficult. You
world.
would never be able to do it. So that's why if you look at the helmets, it even goes over their sideburns as well, because it's just like
Yeah, it
no
makes
hair.
sense.
We're just not fucking with it.
But that also kind of makes sense and adds to it that they're all like little pixel people. Like they're like when you get down in the computer, you're just ones and zeros. You're not like a personality, so to speak. And I think that adds to the movie too. I don't know why. Like when I saw it for the first time, the thing that amazed me the most is like the scene where Jeff Bridges like falls backwards and then the thing like scans him in. And I was like,
that part is cool.
how did they do that? That looks so cool.
The effect on that is really sweet. Like the wireframe on his body.
I was like, this is amazing. I was like, how did they do that back then?
It takes him apart like pixel by pixel.
Yeah. And then I was like, it's also such a cooler looking way than any of the other 2 movies have done of like how you get sucked in. Because for the other ones, it's like, boop, you're in.
I thought the same thing, Dylan. I had that in my notes for sure.
I thought they were going to do that on some of the new ones, like especially Ares. I kind of, because there's so many references to the old one, I thought that when she got sucked in, they were going to do it.
Nope.
The one in Legacy, I literally wrote in my notes, this is so lame compared to the original one. It's just basically like a flash of light zoom in. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, man, but in the first one, it's like this whole like epic thing.
Yeah, I feel like what I love about the first one that they kind of lost in the sequels is that like, I feel like in the second and third movies, it feels like we're in like Vegas or something, and it feels like a party city. But like in the first one, it just feels like empty. Like I'm in like some weird hollow zone that like doesn't exist in time and space.
There's something so iconic about specifically 80s retrofuturism where everything is, you know, 3-dimensional but kind of 2-dimensional, and everything's like it looks like an arcade game. And just I think this movie kind of set the tone for like how everyone pictured a chat room or like the inside of a computer like moving forward. Like I don't know, I feel like there would be like videos online of people being like, you're meeting strangers in a chat room, and it would like take you into a computer like that, and like you would meet someone there. And I don't think without this movie everyone would have visualized like the internet and computers this way.
You're saying without Tron, Code Lyoko would have never existed.
Exactly.
I mean, that's 100% true.
I agree.
Or what's the other one? Cyber Chase?
Cyber Chase.
Yeah, you remember that show?
Yeah.
Classics. We should talk about, though, I think
the plot.
The main thing that this is what always comes up with Tron, right? We wax lyrical about how good
technologically
the visuals are, how iconic
well, you have to, though.
Yeah. No, and that is what it's celebrated for, and it's what it should be celebrated for. I think the plot of Tron is often considered to be the weakest part about it. I think that is probably true in my opinion as well. But I don't think it's as weak as people say that it is. I feel like it's serviceable.
I have a hot take.
Go ahead.
I watched both of these movies beyond, like, past the hype, obviously. But Tron and Top Gun are, like, the same to me. Like, the most basic plot, you're obviously rooting for the good guy. But it's just kind of, like, 80s vibes, plot-wise. Other than that, you're just kind of like, okay.
The volleyball scene is when they're slurping the digital water together.
Did you guys also wonder why the user's sucking down the power?
I don't know, but
I loved that. And that scene that somebody says, "My friends, my fellow conscripts, we have scored," and that's the best line in the movie.
I think that's an interesting take that it's similar to Top Gun. Although I Top Gun 1 doesn't really have a villain, even, right? Isn't the final thing like a training exercise? Mm-hmm. But for like Tron, it's like the big bad villain, and you're kind of just going to do some fun and games until you can ultimately stop him. But the games are iconic.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
It has a momentum to it that I think works. It definitely drags a little bit, like kind of in the chugging the power scene that we get to and stuff like that. But
I think the weak point is the pacing, though. It's not the story. Like the pacing in the movie is really weird.
How long is it?
It's only an hour and a half, I think. Right?
Yeah,
an hour
and
36
I was like, if it was
something.
70 minutes, it'd probably be like a perfect little capsule movie.
Yeah, I think you are right, Johnny. It is the pacing, because like beat to beat, like it does track, right?
Some things happen too fast, some things happen too slow. Yeah.
In between the escape and stopping the master control program is kind of a slog.
But then when they actually stop it, it happens pretty fast.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of design, though, we have to shout out the master control program, because that face is actually scary.
Yeah.
For like all 8 bits of it, it's scary.
Yeah.
No, he's a real creep. He's like a wide, just
His
imposing.
Whoa!
Yeah,
you don't like
so
wide
far
people?
apart.
What the fuck?
He's a literal square.
Yeah,
What the hell?
I'm not for squares.
What the fuck?
Jordan doesn't like the
That was
wide
crazy.
flanker. I've always always been this way, but even if a movie is very light on plot and it looks stunning or it's like pushing some kind of technical boundary, I'm like sold. I don't think
I
the
agree.
Avatar movies are breaking ground, but I'm like, it looks amazing and it's
I love this
creating
from you,
new
Dylan.
technology.
I said the exact same thing to Jordan earlier today, that I feel like Tron is the same as Avatar, where there's nothing really crazy going on in the plot. They're serviceable, but
Yeah.
it's all about the visuals and the spectacle of it.
Yeah, I think those movies are important.
If you're like making a movie and you're asking something of your audience, what this movie is asking the audience is to be down with the high concept at the time of being sucked into a computer and everything being a program, right? They're asking a lot in that sense. So they're making the plot a little more straightforward.
Yeah, it is sort of interesting to think about how people would have felt about buying into a digital world in the 80s versus us today.
Yeah, and this is like 20 years before Y2K. Like
Yeah.
this is like before even there was anxiety about computers. Like people were
Yeah.
just getting into it.
But that's very high concept then. Do you know what I mean? Like even if
Yeah.
the plot is simple, the concept is very high.
Well, and I mean, I'm always a sucker for sci-fi. I love sci-fi stories, and even the concept of you've got this master control program that is following its directive, and then it takes it beyond people going, "Hey, we don't need you. I'm gonna control everything because my programming tells me to run the company in the best possible way, and I can do that without you." It's an interesting thing to look at today, and again, high concept and really forward thinking for that time.
Yeah, ahead of its time. Yeah,
I think Jeff Bridges gives a good performance as well.
amazing.
Yeah, he's weird and good. I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
like it's fun though.
His weirdness helps ground it.
Yeah. I know we shouted out the bikes quite a bit, but also like the frisbees. Just another interesting design choice.
They're called identity
And
discs,
also-
but yeah.
The discs. They're frisbees to me. But it's a great visual. It adds like a whole new visual element and something that they continue to use through the franchise that sets it apart from other sci-fi franchises. Like it is iconic
sure.
and it's different,
Yeah, definitely true.
which I like.
It's crazy though because the discs are like it has your code and personality and life on it, and also you're just throwing them at
it
people.
around.
You know what I mean? Like it's actually insane.
It's a metaphor.
Do you guys think that Tron is short for Tronald?
No,
I don't know. I don't know
think it's
that name.
I have to imagine it comes from Electron, right?
I mean,
I haven't actually never thought of that either.
I feel like,
Like electronics,
it ha-
right?
I just feel like it has to be short for Tronald.
why do you think Tronald?
I don't know. I just think like maybe they could have a new person who runs it, Tronald Tragan.
I feel like it's a bad ship name for the current president.
No, but you have Tronald Tragan, and he's got his whole plan. He's got like trickle down electronics, you know, and then it kind of fucks up the
Yeah, it's
grid.
gotta
And then
be
later
electronic.
on, then you got Tronald Trump, and he's like,
trickle
make the
down
grid great
electronics.
again.
At times, I feel like I'm in a really bad simulation that's run by
Yeah,
Tronald. So maybe,
Yeah.
maybe that's what's happening.
That's how it feels on a daily basis.
Tron Quixote.
Oh, Tron Quixote is pretty good.
Tron Weasley.
Yeah. Tronald McDonald.
I honestly, we're just giving them the marketing campaign that they should have used instead of whatever they decided to do for the.
If we make a Tron movie, Tronald Tragan is going to be the president of the grid.
Tron Swanson.
This is devolving fast.
Yeah.
Derezzing.
Yeah, the D-resin for sure. All right, you guys want to start this on the top? Anything else we want to say about Tron?
It's a really solid movie. I think it stands up to the test of time.
Yeah, it holds up for me as well.
Yeah, I think it's great. Justice for Ram.
It makes me after watching it, it makes me yearn for the times where like studio executives were so experimental and they're like, I'll just literally make you, if you guys believe in it, I'll let you make it. Take your time,
Yes.
show it to me. And now it's like, oh, you guys made that. Okay, I guess we'll just release it.
No, you could tell this movie's very unfiltered in the best way. I actually read that the main studio note after they pitched it was like, change Tronald to Tron, like shorten it. Because it's just cleaner.
I like that you went for Tronald too when your name is Jonathan. Like you could have done Tronathan.
Yeah, but there's no R. I could have done
Yeah, but,
Tronathan.
like, yeah.
I'm Tronny. But Tronny sounds kind of bad.
Uh-oh. 404 backspace delete. No.
Next up on the list, Tron Legacy 2010. Banger!
Yeah, absolute banger. I love this movie.
Me too. I'll like defend it with my life.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if I'd defend it with my life, but I enjoy it.
I wouldn't defend with my life, but I like it as well.
The thing about this movie is it's so 2000s. The way that like the main character is this edgy kind of like emo-ish guy with nice hair and parent issues, and he's doing some like high adrenaline thing and then going woo afterwards. And then the girl's like a manic pixie dream girl. This is like the Amazing Spider-Man, like Treasure Planet. You know what I mean? There's that movie that used to exist.
Yeah.
It is very much of its time.
Doesn't mean it's bad though. It just is.
It is that like not damsel in distress formula, but that a little bit. But like they just won't make that anymore unless there's like it's like a super pointed kind of commentary on something. And it is just like a fun time if you turn your brain off.
I do think it's interesting because one of the things that I didn't realize, because again, I had never seen the original Tron, watching this one is actually how similar it is in terms of its structure and its plot to the original, right? It's like the main character gets digitized on against their will. Like it's not intentional. They get stuck in the digital world. They've got to compete in the games for their life. And then they have to find allies to help them escape back to the real world. It's basically the same plot. There's obviously more nuance going on. There's the father-son relationship. There's the ISOs, which is like one of the things I wish they expanded on a little bit more. But overall, the structure is actually almost identical to the original one.
I think the way that they expand the Tron universe, but stay true to the designs, but also modernize it for the 2010s, is done pretty well. I think visually it looks pretty good.
It looks great.
Oh, it looks I agree.
It goes back to what we said earlier about how, in a way, the original Tron holds up because it's set in its time, and this is what computers and what people think the digital space looked like in the 80s. And this is the same thing, just for the 2010s. It's weird. As a kid, I always knew about the light bikes, right? So I always thought Tron was going into a video game, but it's actually not a video game in the first movie. He's going into like a corporate system. This one is more of like, Flynn's a video game designer. He's created the grid, which is like a world, but it's sort of more based on the video game aesthetic and style. And I think because it's grounded in its time, the visuals, I think they objectively look good, but B, also they feel like they fit the vibe of the universe that we're in.
Yeah, and they're trying to stay true to the 80s with like some of the arcade stuff.
But they did an amazing job, like advancing it, but keeping it true.
Yeah, like I it's like to what you guys were saying, like it was probably for that time like a bold choice to like not do the white costume and with the cap. But I love fashion and I love hair. Like the way they like did like very like weird avant-garde matrixy stuff.
I was about to say, you love a sci-fi girl with a bob.
I love when they just really go all the way, and it's like if it's gonna look like a fashion commercial, fine. But like I just really love when people pour into like the visuals of a movie so much.
Well, do you know what's fascinating about this one too, which is a weird thing to say because typically it goes the opposite way these days. They actually shot more practically for this movie than they did for the original Tron. If you look at the behind the scenes, there's so many sets. They're wearing real costumes with lights
and they
in
light
them.
up.
Like it's actually incredible how much effort and detail they put into the production of this movie. And obviously there's a ton of CGI and visual effects going on, but it's enhancing stuff that they actually captured in camera. It's really cool, like the sets and the designs of things.
I love that they were like, the grid is neon blue in this movie, because then it like, I don't know, it just makes it feel so much more like a club or like this like weird kind of portal to like this electronic world full of like dancing and video games and music. And obviously those are like all my favorite things.
Yeah, I mean the Daft Punk score
iconic
is so good, and it really adds to what Dylan is talking about. You feel like you're at the club because like that was the club music, like, you know what I mean?
It was our childhood challengers.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that they're in the movie as well. There's like quite a few shots of them,
and they
just,
perfectly fit,
bobbing their little robot heads. The vibe is perfect. The vibe is
That's
perfect.
why it works so well.
I think it's cool how in each Tron movie they have a different grid, but it makes sense because they're new created worlds every time, right? Like the first one is the original one made by Encom, and then in this one it's Flynn's own one that he made on his own on the side, and then in the third one it's the one made by the Dillinger Corporation. So you can redesign and make its own thing every time. You know what I mean? You stick to the aesthetic, but you're not forced to make it exactly the same.
Can we talk about the de-aging in this?
I have interesting thoughts about the de-aging.
Okay, go ahead.
Because, okay, first of all, I want to talk about how the decision to make Clue the bad guy is genius and really cool. Because he's barely actually in the first one. He's at the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
And then they bring him back and it makes perfect sense. But also, Clue being a little bit uncanny valley is actually sick. And it, I think, really works for the movie. In the grid, on the grid. Outside of the grid, in the real world, it obviously doesn't look very good.
Right, when
But
it's
so
like the Flynn flashbacks.
Yeah.
But like that's the one thing that dates it. But I think if it wasn't for that, like if it wasn't for the flashbacks, if just Clue looked like that on the grid, I actually think it would be fucking sick.
He feels familiar, but there's something off about him. And
Because it's like Jeff Bridges, but not. And
right,
that's
it's like
what it is.
corrupted
Yeah,
Jeff
right?
Bridges.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
adds to it.
No,
I
it's
think,
interesting.
and like how creepy and weird he is.
Again, it's a very similar premise a little bit to the first one of just, this program that took its instruction so literally, and it's a classic sci-fi thing, but I mean it is for a reason. It is something that makes sense. It works, it's compelling, it sets up for a good conflict, I feel like.
Yeah, I just feel like it is like, to me, it feels like we didn't have the technology in 1982 to make the movie we really, really wanted to make. And this one was like we live in a time where I have the technology to make this like fun space electronic world fully realized. Like that's what the movie I think they would have made back then.
I mean,
Yes.
the Joseph Kosinski is of Top Gun Maverick
My king.
fame these days,
F1.
and F1. He's
Dylan's
clear,
directed
favorite
it.
movie
he's,
of the
cle-
year.
he's clearly shown that he's a really, really sophisticated and solid action director, and I think that's showcased here first. I think the light bite sequence is sick. I think it's really, really cool. It's a really cool elevation.
The light bike sequence is the best sequence in all of the trilogy.
I don't know. There's something so visceral about it, even though it's so fake and not real, but it feels like that's exactly what I always thought like it would look like, even me playing the little game on my iPhone or whatever, not even seeing the original movie. I don't know. It's a really great visualization and expansion, and kind of what you're saying, Dylan. This is like what we couldn't do before, but now we can, and like this is what the next level looks like.
I do think this movie has the best action too.
Yeah,
True.
definitely.
The ID disc, what is it called?
Identity disc.
Identity disc. That fight when he like first is like learning how to use it, and then it becomes this like Nightwing-esque fight battle where they're all flipping and stuff. I was like, I'm living for this.
But that whole sequence, that and goes directly into the light bike sequence. That is like what, 30 minutes, 40 minutes of the movie, and it's peak the entire time.
Yeah, this movie feels younger. They call it Legacy, which I like. It's meaningful for the plot, but also for like what the movie is. Where it feels fresh, and it feels like there's like a whole new generation of Tron, which I think works.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, and they literally turned Tronald into the Rizzler.
I also kept thinking he was called the Rizzler.
That is what he's called. And what's younger than that? You know what I mean?
No idea.
At first
he
you're
ever
like,
touch his chin?
don't kill my boy Tronald. And then you're like, oh no, it's fine. He's the Rizzler now. He's actually badass as hell.
Also, shout out Cillian Murphy for his 5 seconds.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy with an appearance.
Uncredited.
Not paid off later on.
He's uncredited.
He's uncredited.
Yeah.
Wow. Oscar-winning actor.
I gave him credit.
Yeah. the rats are here to give him credit
Yeah.
for his one scene in the
His
boardroom.
boardroom scene. He's like the main villain. It's so interesting that they included that.
Yeah, they really do drop that.
The Dillinger aspect.
Yeah,
of-
the
in
aspect
this
of like
one.
the Dillingers weaseled their way back into the company.
Yeah. Like they cast a big enough actor where like he had done some stuff. It wasn't like no one knew who he was at that point, but they don't really do anything with him.
I think they maybe plan to do something with it later if they made the third one actually connected to this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can I nitpick this movie?
I guess.
I feel like the ISOs being sort of like the discovery, the future is like a vaguely interesting thing, but I also just get lost in the weeds on like what is he even talking about?
It's exposition.
He's like he's like they're created from the like I didn't make them. It's like a new life form and they're gonna change the world. And I'm just kind of like, he's like medicine and religion, and I'm like, what? I think it's an interesting concept of like, oh, what if life exists on the grid outside of users creating it? I actually really like that aspect. But the place that they take it, I feel like is not super fleshed out well. But I do love the idea, and we'll get to this in Aries, of taking the grid to the real world. Like, I think that is a promise that this one makes that we actually finally,
Yeah.
15 years later, got to see pay off. I mean, we said it about the first one, but it's not really about the story with Tron. It is more about the experience and the visuals and the concepts and things like that.
I need to watch it at the Sphere.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, that would be cool. My one nitpick is, or my two nitpicks are: one, not enough Tronald; two, go feed your dog.
True.
Like when he gets out of the grid, he should immediately go to feed his dog. But instead, he's like, "Why don't we just like ride around? I'll show you the world and shit." No, your dog is probably dead, dude. You got to go feed your. Like how long? Like I guess they said that time moves slower on the grid, so maybe he wasn't gone that long. But then I need to see him look at his watch and be like, "Oh, it's only been an hour." Yeah, then I would have accepted it.
Do you think Sam Flynn is the first person to have an AI girlfriend?
That's an interesting question. I mean, no, there surely must have been a movie or something before
I mean, it was
2010,
2010,
right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, Master Chief was the first.
I mean, arguably,
What year was her?
arguably, Kevin Flynn kisses
Yeah, true.
the program in the
Okay.
first one.
Was Kevin Flynn the
Yeah.
first person to have an AI girlfriend?
I'm gonna say yes. That he was for sure.
Yeah, probably internet girlfriend
Yeah,
or
internet girlfriend.
net girlfriend, grade girlfriend. Because it's not somebody
Grade
on the
girl.
other end. It's
Come
like
on,
a
grade girl.
fully automated thing.
So, how do you guys want to rank Legacy?
It's my favorite.
It's your favorite, Jordan,
I like the first Tron better. I think holistically.
Johnny.
I like Legacy better, I think.
I like the first Tron better too.
Oh no.
Shit.
I just feel like it. I feel like I'm giving it the credit for being the thing that started it. Do you know what I mean? Like I like all the escalation and the elevation in Legacy, but I feel like without the original, you don't get any of the stuff that you have in Legacy that's good.
I think like they both have flaws, but Legacy is a more fun watch.
Yeah, I think for me, it's almost the opposite. I think it's just a taste thing. We were talking about how these movies are like so of their times, and I think I just like 80s movies better than 2010s movies.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, I got to phone a rat. I bet that nerd Tim has seen him. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, do you like Tron or Tron Legacy better?
Let's go Tron Legacy.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you for your contribution.
Tim's a Rizzler
No
fan.
problem.
Bye. All right,
Wow.
Tron Legacy to the top.
What's Olivia Wilde's character? Cora's
Cora.
influence?
Cora.
Cora and that freaking booted heel that I love so much.
when that heel stepped out, I went,
I was like,
Tim's gonna love.
Slay.
I love latex and sci-fi. That's like the best combination.
Basically this in the Matrix. All right, last up on the list, Tron Ares 2025. Long-awaited sequel, question mark? Not really, kind of.
Yeah.
Can we start with your take about this movie, Jordan? I feel like it's a good jumping off point.
Oh, sure. When I watched this movie, there was like, I don't know, 75% of the way through the movie, I was like, this movie's going to end and Jared Leto's going to walk on screen in his pink Birkenstocks and go to the gynecologist office. Like, it's going to be Barbie. He's literally Barbie.
Oh.
And it kind of
okay. I was
does.
so
He's
confused
like
with that
eating
reference.
pasta in Italy or wherever he is at the end. Like,
Dark Knight
it's-
Rises ending.
Yeah, I did think it was a Dark Knight Rises ending, but the Barbie comparison I think is very fair.
But basically, the plots are like 1-to-1, right? Like Barbie is a doll. She lives in this dream world where everything that she thinks is like the way that it is. Then she sees the real world. She's like, oh no, that's the real
Different.
world is different. Like there's misogyny. And then she goes back. Her world gets affected by it. And then she decides that she wants to be a human being and wants one life to live. She doesn't want to live forever in Barbie world. And like that's basically what happens in this movie. But for him, without what it means to be a woman, it's more about what it means to be a human, I guess.
right.
Yeah, that's what I took away from it too. That's the main point, right? Is what is it to be a human? And it's like, but we've seen not just Barbie. There's so many movies like that, and it's just like you had something more interesting here with the AI and the technology aspect, which is more true to Tron, and you didn't do enough with it. It's weird because in some ways it does do a good job of paying respect and keeping it within the canon of the originals, right? But also it doesn't directly follow Legacy, which is what everybody wanted.
Yeah, I mean it's true. It does stay in the canon. It does, you bring back the Dillingers as the main
Yeah.
villain. They kind of were there a little bit as like an antagonist force that doesn't really get paid off in the second one, but it makes sense. It's the grandson. They now have competing companies, whatever. And then you are also paying off that concept of Clue's goal of bringing
Yes.
the programs to the real world. That's actually exactly how the technology has progressed. Everyone's trying to do that. Now the question is, are we doing it for good or are we doing it for military power and strength. Dare I say relevant?
I just thought it like the plot was a mess. Like I just thought they were trying to do way too much and things were like moving too much and there was too many characters.
There's definitely too many characters.
I also think like to me, I don't really need the boardroom drama in Tron. It's like if you're just gonna give me a Marvel movie in the grid or out of the grid, just do that. You know, like I don't need all that. Like this is why we're really making computers. Because I'm like, well, you're not gonna really say anything with it, so why waste 45 minutes of my time on that?
I mean, yeah, that was also kind of my issue with it. Is it's like it's all about technology and advancements in technology and AI, right? Which is obviously a hot button topic, and the movie clearly is pro art, right? Because they've talked about in the advertising that no AI was used at all. It was all artist forward, the entire making of the movie and everything, right? But in the movie, they don't really have anything to say about AI.
I think the movie takes the stand that AI is good so long as we use it for good, which is...
No, I think that is the stand, but I think it's not nuanced enough. It's the most basic, boring stand you could possibly take with it. Like, use it to make orange trees, not guns. That's not what's actually... That's not like what is actually happening with AI. You know what I mean? Neither of those things.
We just needed to know that he liked Depeche Mode, but he couldn't articulate why.
I was like, what does it say about being human? I feel like it was like, we're gonna touch on these things, but we're not gonna say anything about it, which is like,
yeah.
You guys know I'll watch a 1% Rotten Tomatoes movie if it has a strong point of view about what it's like making, and I'm like this person was really smoking something, but they made a movie. This one just felt like literally, like, I know that's what we're talking about, like, but an AI generated Tron movie where it's like, can you write a movie about like how AI would affect the Tron universe? And then it just spit out this, and I was like, okay.
Well, it is interesting because AI has been a part of Tron the entire time, right? The first movie has the master control program. Tron himself is a AI, right?
And where's Tronald in this movie?
Yeah, Tronald doesn't make an appearance. I was waiting for him. He doesn't show up.
What the fuck? Cal Kestis has 10 seconds of screen time. No Tronald?
Could have been Tronald.
True. Does he have a name? That can be his name.
So I think it's interesting that they kind of didn't push the boundary on it at all when it's something that they've already kind of dealt with in sort of basic terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That being said, like I'm gonna defend this movie, I think, more than you guys, where I enjoyed it fine. I think it's a super basic plot, but I think the visuals are very excellent in this, and I like the payoff of Tron in the real world. I think the light cycle chase in the real world, pretty sick. Probably exactly what I would have wanted.
Part.
I think the action is well done, and I think the visuals within the like Ares' world, they look good. Like, everything looks good. I like that they shot stuff practically. I like the red and the black. Like they choose a new color, and like it's kind of fun. I honestly, like we've said about on all of them, but this one to me, the plot isn't just boring; it's bad.
Yeah.
But everything else is okay.
I mean, we started out talking bad about it, so I was also saying my gripes. I also liked the movie. I didn't think it was amazing, but like...
I'm with you guys. It's so basic. Like, oh, my sister died, and what it means to be human is to experience loss, right? And you've got the other character who goes, oh, I've never experienced that before. I just get regenerated. What? That's crazy. It's like, yeah, I know I've seen that before, but I still feel like thematically it works and pays off in the correct ways. And she rediscovers what it means to pay homage to her sister's legacy, and he's learning what it is to be a human, and she's seeing enough humanity in him to give him a chance at that. I don't know. We were talking about this afterwards. Like, again, I'm a super big sci-fi nerd, and an interesting thing that gets brought up a lot around the AI conversation, and it's in a million iconic sci-fi things, you know, Blade Runner, whatever, is this conversation about like, if we get AI, at what point of intelligence are we considering them to have autonomy, right? And then you get into those interesting conversations. And now this movie doesn't do it doesn't do any actual analysis of those things, but it is sort of like barking up that tree. And I feel like just me as like someone who's into sci-fi, that was like interesting enough for me to be compelled by cool visuals, cool action, and another sick soundtrack.
I mean, I agree that it was interesting enough. I think they could have just went a little further. I still liked the movie. I think the whole aspect of like they need to find the permanence code, like that's the MacGuffin, is actually really cool. And the fact that they're bringing stuff into the real world, but it doesn't last, and they're trying to get something to be permanent, I actually think is a really cool MacGuffin. And the part of the movie where he's got like his last 30 minutes to live, is really a cool idea.
Yeah, the time-like aspect works well. It's the same thing with like Athena chasing them down, and in the back of your head, oh, she's only got so much time. If they could just escape for a couple minutes longer,
Yeah, that's a
she'll
cool
have to reset
concept.
and come all the way back. It does work well for suspense and stakes.
Yeah, again, going back, like the action is good. I think the action is there. And I think that adds to it. It adds to tension within the action scenes, which makes the action feel more important because it is like progressing the plot in that way. And it's utilizing the story devices that they've planted, like the permanence.
I hated when she got stuck in the little Fruit Loop tornado. I was like, girl, just jump out or do something.
She tried to jump. She's just a regular.
My problem with it is like, and I think after thinking about it, is that I feel like, not to like use such a Gen Z term, but Tron Legacy and even the first Tron, they have a certain sense of like Riz. Like something about it feels like so.
The Rizzler.
Like, the Rizzler is back.
Tron.
And something about it feels so like dedicated to the visuals, and there was so much thought put into it. Whereas this one was like, make sure we have the lights and like the basic stuff. But I felt like it wasn't up to the visual standards of the other two movies. But it might be a Disney problem, not like a current Disney problem, not that director's choice.
I think a problem for me is just culturally where we are with technology right now, where I think in the 80s especially, and then even when we were kids, technology was new and exciting, and now technology kind of poses this existential threat to all of us in a way that feels a bit more threatening than maybe ever before. Like we've always had Blade Runner and stuff, like there've been sci-fi novels before, but I feel like it feels imminent now, so it's kind of hard to watch a hopeful technology movie and have the same fun with it. And I think that's just looming, at least for me, over my brain when I watch anything like this. Like I was talking to Xander about it a little bit, how he was mentioning earlier about like at what point do AI creatures deserve respect, or
Yeah, it's an interesting ethical question, right?
Yeah, and to me, I just feel like once we as a society allow empathy for non-humans when we still haven't figured out empathy for actual humans, like we're cooked. Like we're so done. It's something I think about.
Honestly, I think you articulated it well, and that's sort of how I felt as well. Like if you were going to be talking about this kind of stuff now in present time, I need a little more thoughtfulness. Do you know what I mean? Because it is this thing that's looming and gives us all anxiety. It can't just be so simple.
Also, of all the faces to put to hope for technology, you picked that one.
Yeah, we should talk about that too.
I was like, get him off the screen. I was like, make Gretel Aries somehow. I was like, he gets deleted and she gets reborn as the AI. I was like, I don't like his acting. I don't like his face. I don't like that he's like the like one that's like, I was made to be bad, but secretly I just want to be a good little Barbie girl and eat pasta. It's like, I just think he has an evil face and energy, and I don't want him on my screen.
I said the same thing.
Okay. There was a hilarious part though where like at the very beginning, you don't see his face, right? Like he's wearing the helmet and it's like blacked out. And then he like through the whole beginning, and then he comes out in the demonstration to the military people where they're like, it's the perfect soldier, and somebody goes like, is it alive? And then it like reveals Jared Leto's face, and they all go they all gasp, and I always laughed out loud because it's literally like the audience be like, oh my god, it's Jared Leto, what the
I feel
fuck?
like our audience did like have a reaction. They were like,
Yeah, a little bit.
they were like, oh, okay.
I think you're spot on, Dylan, about this freak man. Just in the movie, his vibe is bad. He's an off-putting presence, and I think he's leveraged that well in other roles that he's done. But in this, when he's supposed to be like an empathetic character that you're supposed to like be like, oh, like maybe he should be given a chance. It's hard to buy in to that with the performance that he's giving.
Okay, but in defense of him, he's offbeat, but it's supposed to be somebody who doesn't know anything about being a human. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly don't think he was that bad at it. I don't think he was really good. I do think the same role could have been played a lot better and a lot more fun and charismatic with a different actor. But I didn't think he was terrible. And I think a lot of people are not seeing the movie. And the movie's doing bad, like in the box office. Is it because it's Tron and people don't care about Tron, or is it because of Jared Leto? It's probably a little of both, but I think it's a shame that people aren't seeing it. But that being said, I also don't like Jared Leto, so.
I think it's like honestly similar to what we're talking about with the plot for his performance. So there's just no nuance. Like he just takes being
There's no
a blank
nuance.
slate to the highest level. Like he's
Right,
literally,
right.
go on, girl, give us nothing.
Where
like,
was Gal Gadot at?
Yeah. Yikes. But yeah, I don't.
Enough champagne to fill the grid.
We were talking about this before we started filming with him and the whole method thing. That's everybody always talks about that with him. And again, he went method on this movie. They talked about it in interviews. And I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
You're not doing anything. You're not giving anything. Like, I'm not an actor and I could have fucking done that performance that he did. You don't, like, I'm being for real. Like, why did you have to go method to be like, Depeche Mode is quite good?
Yeah, but there's no like charm. Like there's not even like that like secret charm where like you're trying to like it's supposed to be weird and robotic, but also like as an audience you're like, aw, like I don't know. It's just
He's not giving like a Star Wars droid.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like no one in this entire movie honestly had a personality except for Eve's friend.
Yeah.
Literally no one else has a personality.
I would say Evan Peters has got.
Oh yeah, and
he's
him,
got like
yeah,
man-child syndrome going on.
Even he was like not amazing for me though. I like Evan Peters, but it was like cartoonish.
I thought he was just okay. He was fine. Like I mean, I liked him. He looked good with the tattoos.
Before we rank it, there's one last thing I want to say that like you were talking about. You think that it was a good payoff to bring like the grid into the real world. And I do agree that it does feel like it was always headed that way. But I will say I'd like it less. It's cooler being in the grid.
I
the
agree
movie
with-
was
I
in the
agree
real
with
world
that.
too much.
I think it's you needed to do something different.
I just feel like to your point, like John Wick does that well, where it's like it's in our world, but you can tell it's a specific style of how our world looks. Like
Sure.
just add some spice to make it like we're not in like the Dark Knight Chicago
Yeah.
all of a sudden, and then we're in the void. Like
Sure.
not the void, the grid.
And they also filmed it in Vancouver, and it was very distracting for me because like the whole motorcycle scene was filmed on a bridge I used to walk across every single day going to and from work. And it was like hella distracting for me.
All right, how do you guys want to rank this one?
It's last for me. Sorry.
This one, yeah, last for me too.
I liked it. I think a lot of people don't like the movie, and I thought it was good, but it definitely is last.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I also enjoyed it. It's a thumbs up movie for me, but it's not as good as the other two.
I think if you enjoy the Tron universe, it's worth seeing. And if you enjoy action movies or
Yes.
just like cool design or Nine Inch Nails, it's worth seeing. I don't think it's like the worst movie I've ever seen by far. Like, I'm glad that I saw it. I just think compared to the other two, it just lost a lot of the like the nuance and the specialness of Tron for me.
Yeah, I think you're probably
totally
pretty
agree.
spot on too, Jordan, of maybe it's fair to say that it's not really that much less interesting plot-wise than the other ones, but the time in which it's coming out affects the way that you're perceiving it. So even if it is a little bit similar, it's just the context has completely changed.
Yeah,
around.
and I'll fully admit, like that's me. That's my own anxiety, like going into my movie going experience. But I felt it, so
No, but that's a real thing that's going on that a lot of people feel. So you're 100% right. Tronald's not even fucking in it. We're not talking about that enough.
we didn't talk very much about how Flynn is in it. Good cameo. I liked his little scene.
yeah,
I like the little callbacks to the OG movie.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah,
That's
I
cute.
liked. We didn't talk
Bit.
about that at all, but I like when he goes in the OG universe.
Yeah, it looks great. The hole in the wall from the original movie with the light bike going through it. Like,
I really liked that.
really cool.
I'm glad that they did that. That was a good like little nod.
No, we focus too much on the negative. You know what I mean? There are a lot of cool parts about this
Oh,
movie.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I really liked that going into the old thing. It's just hard because when you're directly talking about the other ones, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, to the power of Tron, even after this movie, I was like, I want a light cycle. I want the suit.
Yeah.
I want to go into the grid. Like, I don't
You
care.
want to throw your little identity disc at
I
people?
was like, I do. I was like, it's still cool. Like,
Yeah.
like
Tron's
that's
cool.
like the power of their lore, kind of like say with Star Wars. Like, you just want the stuff in the movie.
But now we're stuck in a place where it's like Tron was brought back because of Jared Leto, but is it going to be killed forever because of Jared Leto? Because nobody wants to see the movie because nobody likes him. It's like this weird thing.
All right. The Rats on Film official ranking for the Tron franchise, objectively in our opinion, starting from the bottom. Tron Ares, Tron, and the big cheese of the show, Tron Legacy.
The big cheese.
Yeah, that's the winner every week.
Cillian Murphy stays winning.
Wow. Is that
True.
you didn't even vote for him?
No, that is he. It's not even on me. He found a way.
Hey, the Rats liked it overall. Not like a fave, but
Yeah, go see
but
it.
enjoyable.
Tell
go
us
see
what
it.
you think.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
go see it for
definitely go
yourself.
see it.
Yeah, get your own opinion about Tron.
See it in Dolby.
I love Tron.
Like, feel it pulse in your chest.
Tron
That's the best
within.
part.
Yeah, Tronny loves Tron. Thanks for listening to Rats on Film, everybody. Tell a friend about the show where a bunch of little rats talk about and rank movies. Rate us 5 stars on your podcast platform of choice and follow us, Rats on Film Pod, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Letterboxd. We'll post this list and all the future lists we make on there. And we will be back in 2 weeks to talk about and rank some more movies.
End of line.
Follow us or you get de-rezzed.
We'll make you compete in the games.
Yeah. Now, Jordan, you gotta say it again because it has to be the last thing we say. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
End of line.
And also, shout out to Tron. Okay, say it one more time, Jordan.
End of line.